And welcome to Helpdesk Live, everybody. Hope you are doing awesome. We got a really exciting one for you. We have a number of third-party add-ons that have been made that we're going to feature, which I'm really excited about because it's some things that I've wanted to see in the Libre as well. And I think you might just really enjoy who made those add-ons, as well as we're going to do some Weldment's previews. We've got Victoria, British Columbia, Northern Michigan, I know we got some more people. Let us know where you're from. And again, welcome to Help Desk Live. Steve Costas, what's new, guys?
Well, I mean, I'm
Steve,
in
you're
the
gonna.
UK. I'm in the
Yep.
UK, and we're suffering our fifth heat wave. And I'm taking one for the team wearing the Libre hat here in my attic workshop. I think it's about 35 degrees up here and about 34% humidity. It is absolutely roasting, but hopefully after tonight things are going to start cooling off. But we had a partial eclipse, a solar
Yeah.
eclipse this week. That was absolutely awesome. I mean, it wasn't totality here. We had about 95%, depending on where you were in the UK, it was ranging between 95 and 92% of the sun was obscured. And yeah, that I was present for the total eclipse back in '99. It's not as good, but it's still damn cool. Seeing nature at
Yep.
work.
Do you want to share that, or can you?
Yeah, I can. So funny story. So I was preparing to get ready for the eclipse, and I didn't have any glasses. They all sold out, and my planning was absolutely rubbish. So I found the original filter I had back in '99, and I designed in a Libre an adapter, printed it, and stuck it on my
There
camera
you
that we're
go.
using right here. And was able to take this image here. So this is a montage
Oh,
of probably
cool.
about 45 minutes worth of transition from first contact to last contact. And yeah, you can see there that right in the center, that it's just almost.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if
That's a
if
very good. That's a very cool picture. That's a very cool picture.
it's not the best
Um.
solar eclipse picture out there, but it's mine. I took it. So that's
Right.
that's what it means to me, right? So
Yeah. Exactly. You're not a professional photographer, and the story, just adds to it. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
what about
Well,
you, Costas?
So we're okay. So guys, for a week and a bit, I've been flat out because the add-ons that we're going to see today from the third party, I'm the third party. that's me, guys. I made these add-ons, and they are add-ons that I've already used in production. Right, I've already used them in projects, and they've saved me time, and I want to share it with you, and we'll take it from there. So, you know, whenever you guys want to start the showcase, we're ready to roll.
I think you got us primed.
Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. So, first of all, this is an ISO grid, right? I don't know if you know what it is. It's a way to significantly lighten a plate without reducing its bend resistance. And if we're honest, it's almost an ISO grid. Why? Because we need to fillet all of these edges for it to be a real ISO grid. So, if I remember correctly, it's about 1,100 and a bit edges. Should be dead easy to fillet, right? Well, it's not. It's not, and this is the first add-on I'm going to show you. So, by the way, guys, please do not judge. These are all vibe coded, right? This is Costas vibe coding with Claude. I mean, so the way this works is you open it up. This is pre-selected. You click on a plane, and it selects it. The yellow bit goes down, and you click on another face. Basically, you click on faces, and it creates planes out of them. And then you give it a radius, right? And then you click fillet. And what it does is it creates planes out of those two faces, and it only fillets edges that start at plane A and end at plane B, and ignores everything else. Every other edge gets ignored. And the selection strategy is mine. It's not Claude. Claude made a code. It ran for about 45 minutes for this fillet. It didn't work really well. This is shown in real time, guys. Okay, so Please be kind. Um, yeah, and I also want to share a couple of things about these add-ons. First of all of these add-ons, the code will be shared with Alibre in a feature request. I mean, I don't know, maybe maybe they can implement them a lot better than I can, which I mean, probably. And the second thing is that, guys, I humbly announce that I'm starting memberships for my channel, right? And these add-ons are going to be available to my members. And let me just say that the mechanism they will be available is you subscribe. There'll be 3 tiers. This is tier 3. You subscribe for a month and you get all of my inventory, right? And if you don't subscribe next month, you get to keep it. Why not? Okay, so this was add-on 1. Now this looks a lot like an ISO grid, a lot better, doesn't it? Right? We filleted about 1,000 edges in a minute. It wouldn't have taken me a minute to select them, right? So this is one. This is the first thing I did.
When you're working on an injection molded part, you're so sensitive to sharp edges, and for things like design for manufacturability, it's a real handy thing. I want to have smooth edges. Now I can.
Yeah, that's another great point. Yes, molds, of course. And then you can do multiple passes and select different planes. But yeah, for most basic molds, this will work like a charm, and we get to showcase it with a cool ISO grid. I will also be doing videos explaining how these work in a lot more detail, so keep an eye out for that. Maybe some of you already saw something, but we'll talk about it later. So, this is add-on number 2, guys, and the reason I made this is because when I designed, this is a tiny little machine. This is a small piece of a large production line, right? And when I design something like this,
Did this open off screencasting?
Oh, is it? It is. So there you go. Sorry. So when I design something like this, I then give the client a booklet of all the drawings, right? And in order to do that, you need to make drawing. You send this to the drawing environment, but I want consecutive numbering. So you add a new sheet, then you go to the selection, you open up the folder, you click on another part. Well, I made this add-on, which, because it reads the entire assembly, this is not very quick either. You'll give it a moment to load up. But this was the most efficient and the greatest time saver out of all of the 3 that I'm going to show today in a production environment, right? Like me designing and actually trying to send these things out. It's almost there.
I'm liking that those cutouts that reduce weight. It looks like that gives the machine a pretty cool look.
Yep, pretty cool look. This ships. This was supposed to ship. The sheet metal was supposed to ship flat and then bent on site. So lightness made the lightness was useful.
And we got Simon Baxter on. Good to have you with us, Simon. He's a legend on the forum.
Oh, yep. Okay, so we're loaded. And what is this? Okay, let me show you guys. This will auto-populate one drawing sheet for all of the assembly, right? And it does a few other things as well. You select what views are going to be in there. You select whether it's going to have hidden lines, design dimensions. This is a nice toggle. Extra sheets for the flat patterns for sheet metal parts, right? This is another one. This view scale is the maximum that you want to have. And you click this, and it doesn't always go in as 1-to-1 or the maximum you chose. It reduces it to standard scale steps based on these. Now, these sizes are, it's not the bounding box of the part, it's the bounding box of the 3 views on the sheet. So it knows how much to scale it, right? In order to fit the sheet. And another great thing is, you see this off-the-shelf column, and this one's pre-selected, right? This is a sub-assembly from a McMaster car. You can tell by the code, and it's pre-selected. Why is it pre-selected? Well, if you go into an assembly, into a sub-assembly, and you go into part properties, which is this little icon here, right? Go to general, you have this, which is treat as part in bill of materials when used as a sub-assembly. So for all of the parts that you've toggled this on, this add-on knows and designates them as off the shelf and doesn't make drawings about it. And if you want, you can revert that. And then the constituents of that sub-assembly become available. So I'm telling it that all of these are off the shelf. I don't want... okay, this is an entire sub-assembly. I don't want to be making drawings of these. These are the pipes, right? These pipes were made with the same method I show in my 3D Sketch Masterclass. So I tell it what is off the shelf that I don't want to have drawings of. Then I click Create Drawings. And we're streaming, so it might also take a very little while.
And while it takes a while, we've got someone from Eastern Washington. You know, my wife's family is up in that area, so it's near and dear to my heart. Welcome to the chat from Eastern Washington. So, Costas, what is the target user for a add-on like this?
So if I'm terribly honest about it, these were made to speed up my work, right? To speed up the way I work and I produce work and I deliver to my clients. Okay, so you see now that it's running down here, the log file is going on. It's calculating all of the scales if you see what's going on. So the target audience is anyone who designs and needs to design parts slightly faster, right? The problem is that it's generating the sheets and it's beautiful to look at, but it's not on my shared screen right now. So you'll still give it a...
I got a couple of questions then. So
go ahead.
From a newbie perspective, right?
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that I would find something like this useful if I'm transitioning from projects that I'm creating and making myself versus sending it off to a fabrication shop to make a component or part of the assembly, etc. I can send these drawings off because as a new person, I probably wouldn't necessarily make drawings of my projects. I'm taking that next step. Would that be a fair statement?
Well, first of all, for sure, if you design an assembly and you want it built, you need to make drawings of it. That's the only way to do it, right? Because if you don't have drawings of it, you cannot tolerance it, and then just sending the 3D, unfortunately, does not carry all of the information that a manufacturer might need, as we saw in these live help desks in the GD&T episode, right?
And cool. You could probably, in wave.video, share your other screen if you wanted to show the drawings being made. I love that too.
That'd be great.
And The second question I had is, which versions of a Libra do these add-ons work in?
These add-ons basically work for sure past V. So that's a good question. These work past V25, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see the. Oh, there you go. I forgot one. This is a off-the-shelf part that got made, but so the idea, the way it makes it is you get the assembly, and then you get parts, right? And then when you have a sub-assembly, it makes the sub-assembly and then its constituent parts, and it moves down. And this is the scale function has never failed me yet, even though, funnily enough, the dimensions don't go in very correctly, but you can see that the scale it selected is correct to fit the A3 sheet that is my template. And this is the 3D part, and this is the flattened part. Okay. And it goes on, and yep, there you go. So that is the drawing add-on, right? And just to give you an idea, let's I'll be making a video, which is, by the way, already made and uploading about this add-on. So this just made, in the span of our discussion, made 26 sheets of all of the parts with design dimensions. Okay, so I mean, it's worth something.
Wow.
Right? So you were saying V25 and above for the Libra.
Yeah, V25 and above. Now the only reservation I have is this, right? It prints the bend notes, and bend notes are a V29 feature, right. But these were not put in by any sort of code that was generated. So I'm guessing that if you use this in V25, 26, or anything, these will just not appear because they're not there. But I'd love people to give it a go, give it a test drive, and come back with comments, and help me make it even better for them and for everybody else that is going to be getting this this add-on. Okay, so
just to close out the version question, Costas. So yeah. Is that Atom, Expert?
Right. So that's a very good question. Atom does not take add-ons because it doesn't have, script, and the API are not, to my knowledge, are not enabled in Atom 3D. So this is a Design Pro and Design Expert. I don't know if Joseph has any, more insider knowledge on Atom 3D getting add-ons, but yeah. So this is how this works. It appears that it's slow, right? But in order to make 26 sheets and adjust the scale on them, I mean, that's about half an hour of work, right? Whereas this took like what?
Minutes.
A minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, for 26.
Okay. Then we had a question: are these add-ons for sale, members only? How would you structure that?
Okay, guys, these are not for sale, right? So I'll be building up a catalog of these add-ons. Currently, there are 3. The third one is la pièce de résistance. Currently, there are 3. You sign up for a top-tier membership, right, in my channel, and you can download the entire catalog. Next month, if you don't want to sign up, you get to keep what you already have. If there are new add-ons next month, you won't have access to them. But you might wait a few months and then get the new catalog. Um, these these are a bit of work to make, right? But I felt like these actually add a bit of value, and I also wanted to help people. So it didn't sit right with me to lock it behind, subscriptions and stuff. You sign up for the top tier membership and you download the entire catalog. There are 3 tiers. First tier will give you 1 week advance videos. Second tier will give you any resources I use in a video. So spreadsheets, PDFs. I have a zip file uploaded for tier 2 members, and it even has an entire dissertation on cutting forces, which is pretty deep if you want to go into that. Cutting forces in milling, to be exact. But that's the idea. You sign up for a month, you get what what is allowed for that tier to get. And if you don't want to sign up ever again, cheers. You helped me for 1 month. I appreciate it. You get to keep everything. Okay, so right now, let me check. Okay.
One question for you. For assemblies, do you have to add a bomb table?
No. Well, I mean, the add-on does not depend on a bomb table. I'm opening a lighter assembly because I just want to show you what this is. So this is an assembly, right? This is 2 plates and 10 bolts, right? This is what this is basically. Okay. What I can do in a Libre, and we've covered this before in other help desks and in other videos, both me and you, Joseph. When you are in an assembly and you go into part data, which you can either do through file and properties, or you can just click on this little icon. Oh, sorry. Oh man, 2 screens. This is the assembly I'm talking about,
Okay.
right? This is 2 plates. This one is repeated, and another one and bolts. Simple assembly. So when you're in an assembly, you can go into part data, which is either this icon. You click on this icon, or you go file and properties. But whenever you're in an assembly, if you go there and you go into general, you get a toggle down here. And that toggle says, treat as a part. So treat this current assembly. Treat it as a part in the bill of materials when it is used as a sub-assembly, right? So if I now go and make drawings of this, it's supposed to be an assembly. Every part get a drawing. If I use it as a sub-assembly somewhere, and I've checked that, right? When I make the bill of materials gives you the option, it doesn't do it automatically, it gives you the option to collapse all of the rows of this sub-assembly into 1 row with the name of the sub-assembly. Now, what I did in my add-on is I am just reading this property here. Okay, I am just reading this property. So no BOM required. But if you checked this, well, you know what? You probably don't want drawings of this, right? When do you treat a sub-assembly as a part? Well, when it's a black box, when it's something you bought off the shelf. So what my add-on does is, and this this was 3 parts. You see, like it flashed like instantly. So what my add-on does is it selects this off-the-shelf checkbox. When you have checked treat as a part in the bill of materials, but it is a pre-selection. You can go there and deselect it if you want as well. So nothing, is final. Yeah. I hope that answered that question. Oh, it was from Harold. Hey, Harold. We owe a thanks to Harold for everything he's taught us, by the way, because, and check out his videos. His videos are golden, especially in sheet metal. If you do sheet metal with a Libre, Harold's channel is the absolute go-to.
We appreciate everything that Harold brings, and we got Bill
Oh
Black
yeah, for
here.
sure, man.
He's in the
He's a
Steam cabinet
grandmaster.
that's Eastern Florida. So he has a design suggestion: a bent lip on the circumference of some of those holes in the flat pack parts can get some added stiffness. I thought that was a fun thing to point out.
Wait, because this is a bit small for me. But it's a bent lip on the circumference of those holes in the flat packed parts.
So
yeah. That's a very good suggestion indeed. However, in this little assembly here, if I remember correctly, there is not a single bent sheet metal part that doesn't bolt onto a solid one. So I cheated a little bit, but that's an absolute awesome suggestion by Bill Black, and yeah, thanks for that.
So as far as making the drawing, Simon Baxter had an interesting idea. Could you run a Libre headless so you don't see the UI? When I've like vibe coded stuff, I'm like, I want to run it in headless to maximize the performance, but it's also so beautiful to see your work getting done for you. So it's cool either way. But
you know what? Okay. Confession time, right? If I'm saving 20 minutes, I want to see the thing doing its work. I mean, you know what I'm saying, right?
Also,
I like watching it.
When you're running it for the first, first 50 to 100 iterations, you probably want to watch it to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to.
Yep. Definitely. And I'll tell you what, I've run this add-on probably like 50 times before I actually made drawings that I sent to clients with, right? And I'll tell you another little thing. It takes just shy of a second to go through each sheet, right? And in that little amount of time, you can check if you forgot to check an off-the-shelf part. So if a sheet flashes with a bolt, you're like, I need to go there and delete it afterwards. So, I mean, but yeah, running it headless is the appropriate thing to do. Yeah. But, and I did that every time I program something. I like, watching the automation.
The number of times I've made something and then called my wife into the room and be like, look at this thing that I did that you can watch working that you don't care about and has nothing to do with you. Just watch it, though.
Exactly. Yep.
It's like watching your first 3D printer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Or first time you ran a CNC machine, right? First time I ran a CNC machine, and it was a big one. It was a VF2 back at uni, right? And it went plowed, like 80 millimeter face mill going through steel. I was like, whoa. Right? You get that feeling. Yeah.
This is cool. Oh, man. This thing could kill me.
Yes, this is great. It can take my head off, clean off, right? Yeah, well, you don't think of that at that precise moment, right? You're just in awe at that but I have had, because we were students back in university, so I have had an 18 millimeter carbide end mill break off and get stuck in the perspex of the door on that VF2.
Not the time to have your face pressed up against the glass watching what's going on when that happens.
And also PSA: do not disable door locks in CNC mill, guys. PSA. Anyway.
Yep. And I think you had one really exciting add-in for us. This is the one
I thought
was really cool.
Let's go. Let's go for the big one. So the big one has a few iterations, right? So let's say I wanted to make a cotter pin, but by accident, not really, I extruded the thing straight. Oh no, what can you do, right? So you see this is straight extrusion, and this is a sketch. Going into the EXM. By the way, every add-on I made starts with EXM, which is like ex machina. I'm amazing at naming things. I'm sure the entire chat agrees, right? Yes, thank you. Anyway, yes, I am amazing at naming things, and this is Sketch Bend. Okay, so it's got a few options. Most of the time, you run it without touching anything. So it picks up on the two sketches that are available in this part. The pre-selection is the last sketch that there is, so sketch 2, which is this free sketch. You get a tolerance and you click bend. Okay, and you wait a while. Admittedly, not that much.
I love the
And
exclamation on that button. It gives the whole thing just a touch of personality.
yeah. Oh, where's my? Okay. It keeps bringing my screen, guys. So give me a second. You get a little message box saying your bend is complete, and I need to regenerate. This is our part bent. Okay, but that's not really impressive, is it? So let's push it a little bit further. Let's go ahead and take this SBR rail, which, yeah, this is the one I want. This is a production one. I don't want to mess that one up. So this is an SBR rail, right? It's got counterbore holes. So this is a shaft rail, right? A shaft guide. Yeah. Oh, there you go. And I've made this sketch. Okay. To be honest, 100% disclosure here. This only does, at the moment at least, it only does 2D sketches, and it only does line, arc, line. If you do an angle, it thinks that it's intersecting with itself, and it is not reliable. I've had ports render, but I've had others that didn't. Okay, so let's think about this. If we bend this hole here is going to get twisted all out of shape, and it can do it. It can show the holes twisted, and it becomes like a triangular hole, right? But you might want this bent, and you might still need to be bolted down somewhere. So there is a toggle here, says preserve circular holes and pins, full cylindrical walls with axis normal to the bend plane. The bend plane being the plane of the sketch that we're bending around, right? So this is sketch 3, the free one. So I need to be bending around sketch 3, okay? And let's see what it does now. Sketch 3, okay, and I'll bend. So this, we are streaming. It'll take a slightly longer amount of time. But you'll see there are added features here. Okay, we're bent. Let me show you the result. So what it does is it bends the centers of the holes, right? And then it goes in and remakes the holes with features. So there are 2 cut features here. And you get your bent part, and it's got the holes correctly placed, right?
So if I get you,
cool.
you're making holes that are not distorted in the bend.
Yes, because otherwise, exactly. So the way this works is it is a volumetric bend, right? That tolerance, you see, is the distance between points. It turns this into a point cloud, well, essentially. And then it goes in and executes a homogeneous transformation on each point, translating its coordinate system along the sketch, right? And that's how you get this. If you do that on the points of this, for example, counterbore, it'll be like, like an ellipse, a slant ellipse. It'll be like this, right? But by clicking that toggle, you tell it to plug that hole first, remember where the center was, do the bend, make new holes. Okay. And we have more. And we have more, guys,
You have more?
because
More?
we have more. I want more
Please, sir, can you
because
have some more?
yes. Don't mind if I do. Because in the thumbnail you have the mighty dragon, right? Should we do the dragon? No. I'll keep the dragon open, but you know what? I'll make a tire first.
Perfect.
We need we need to wait for the dragon to load, which is like a million faces.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to say I have some videos on the Libre channel of how to make a tire. We're obviously making the tire in the round, and I think I made 2 different methods on how to make a tire in the round. And I'll
Exactly.
tell you what, it's a lot to account for features on that circular path. So I think what you're going to show us is a real treat that solves some of
Yeah.
these problems.
Yep, that's the entire idea. Okay, so let's go for where's my don't tell me I deleted joys, the joys of round yes, the joys of live things.
Yeah, here's a question. Can you make this into a flat pattern after? That's kind of an interesting thought.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Make what into flat pattern?
I think what they're saying, and John Reamer, correct me if I'm wrong. I think if you have something that's in the round, could you flatten it using the same logic?
Yes, if you get the math right. And also, let me just point out again that this is a this is essentially an approximation, right? What you're doing is you're creating a point cloud. You're transforming every point in that cloud, and then basically the add-on remembers the engine, as it's called, remembers which points go to what faces and tries to restitch them. Okay, so this is not as accurate as the flat pattern in the sheet metal environment. Let me tell you that flat out, and you will see it in this particular example, right? But I cannot find the tire, so I'm going to do it live. Don't worry, guys.
Oh.
It'll be quick.
This is setting the bar high. Difficulty
like
set to max.
It's like that one clip. We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I need this. Okay, let's bring this in. Let's mirror this around this. Okay. And we'll do a shallow. This is not going to be a beautiful tire. It's going to be a tire, right? So I will now thin extrude this. And let's say that the depth. Yeah. So we need to. So this is the length of the extrusion, right? Now, for this to work, this obviously needs to be the circumference of the circle you're going to be building, right? Okay. And after the live, I'm going to actually find the tire.
It'll be right on your
the actual tire files. But anyway, so let's make a 16-inch tire for a 16-inch wheel. So we have 2 times pi times 8 inches, which is the radius of a 16-inch wheel, right? And then let's make it 10 millimeters thick on the outside. Oh, that was the inside. So that's 0 and that's 10. Right? Yeah, that's right. And let's fillet these so they look like a bit more presentable. 20 maybe should be nice. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna make another plane and I'll make it tangent. There you go. And I want the other side, tangent to the other side. There you go. Okay, and it's not going to be as beautiful as the sample I sent to Joseph, but let's go.
It's a slick.
So let's, yeah. So okay, so I want to bring these two in. So I want to bring, come on, bring this face in, bring this face in, and I want to make an arc there. I want to make an arc there, and let's make them equidistant from the center. So this is basically a semi-slick, right? Because semi-slicks have less things that I need to design for this demo. Okay. And these two are equal, and they're staggered at 10 millimeters. And this starts, I don't know, like, oh, I know. It needs a specific point. So 32 D9, this needs to be D9 divided by 2. Okay. And oh man, I'm trying to make it fully defined. What's left to define? Ah, the centers. Okay. That's one center. Where's the other one?
It's I see it. It's just right there. Your mouse was on it.
There you go. Yeah. So, oh man. Okay. So now I'm going to simply do a thin extrude cut, right? And I'm going to go up to this surface and offset it by 2 millimeters. Is that the offset? Oh, it goes to the other side of the surface. Oh man.
Yeah, the joys of live, right?
The joys of live. Exactly. Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's make this 2 millimeters. Yeah, this could be a tread, couldn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Let's be a bit more. Let's be even more cheeky. Will it do this? I'm just going to leave these like that. Is it going to cut that? It probably is going to do it, isn't it? Yeah. And let's get that a bit deeper. Minus 9.5.
This is a tutorial of how to make a tire now, you guys.
Yeah. Well, this is the definition of a flat tire. I mean, you know.
So guys, take a picture of this, and next time you're late for work, you can send your picture of this to your boss and say you got a flat tire.
And say I got a flat tire. Yep.
How do you get the D's to show up in the measurements? That's a good question.
Okay, that is a good question. So as soon as this, there you go. Let me just hide. Yeah, so I went too far. Let me just fix this and I'll show you exactly how I did it. Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. So how did I get the D's to show up in the equations, right? So we go into File, System Options. It was System Options, wasn't it? Display. part assemblings, design, viewing. Let me see. It might have been.
Would it be under sketching?
Sketching.
Yeah.
No. You know what? It was part data. Units. Yeah. You go to units, right? Dimension. There it is. So part data, which you can also go file properties. It is this checkbox. Show equations. When you tell it to show equations, it also shows the name of the parameter, which is super, super, super helpful, right? Okay, so let's say that this is our tire now. Okay. Man. No, guys, stop me. This is enough design, right? Okay, so this is our tire. Now we're going to go into this plane, and I'm going to make a point. So I just started the sketch in the perpendicular plane. I'll make a point here. I will go and project the lowermost edge, and I'll use midpoint with 3 points. So first 2 points define a linear segment, and the third point sorry for that. And the third point is forced rather to stay on the perpendicular bisector of that linear segment, right? So this is exactly below the middle of that linear segment. And then I just tell it that this distance, wait, sorry, give me a sec. I got a new keyboard, by the way, and I'm not used to it yet. Is exactly 8 inches. Why 8 inches? Because that's the radius that we're designing to, okay? And after I make this point, I go and click up here. Sorry, down here it says insert axis from sketch. And I'll go and select this point, and what it's going to do is going to create a reference axis that's perpendicular to the sketch plane, going inside and through that point. I will apply, close, and close out the sketch. And you see now, I've got an axis here, okay? So let's go. Now we're going to go into axial bend, okay? So this is a different paradigm. It doesn't bend along a sketch. It bends around an axis, okay? And you will see that it doesn't take a radius or a diameter as input. That is because the location of the axis defines that radius, okay? And if you leave the angle here to 0, it'll do a full circle. I can, uncheck that, make it slightly faster because there are no holes there. And if I have it checked, it'll check anyway. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Did I make a nice tire? So this my demo for this didn't go well, so I'm a bit anxious, guys. All right.
Feels like we're spinning the roulette. It's the same. Feels like we're spinning the roulette wheel on this. I'm on black.
Okay? It is kind of like that. It definitely feels like that.
It looks like we're bending the dragon.
That has to be a euphemism for something. If it's not, it has to be from that one.
No, the selected part is the dragon export.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Thank you for that. That's a euphemism for me making the wrong part. Which is a great catch, because up there in part, it gives you a drop down of all the active parts. Okay.
Well, if anyone was thinking, wondering whether or not we're live, I think we just
we are live. We are live. When everything goes horribly wrong, we're live.
This is how we do. But easy fix, right? Just don't get
easy
tired.
Fix. I'll rerun it, and then we'll have the dragon example ready made, right? So, guys, really sorry for that.
Yeah. Now I'm intrigued
Intermediate.
by I'm intrigued by Bill Black because Bill Black is from Florida and he's got this really awesome treasure salvage business. And the comment spells tire the way Steve would spell it, right? The European way. So I'm
Yep.
interested to know if Bill Black has spent some time in Europe somewhere or something, because that's a cool comment for many reasons, but it is a nice way to do some intermediate tire patterns too.
Yep. Okay, now that we have the dragon ready for our next show, we'll go for new part. Right. You know what? I should probably save this somewhere. So let's go tire. The reason I'm
that's
saving
probably
it
what
is
tripped you up
because
last time, right?
yeah, and the reason is what this does, right? It is so I need to rerun it now. So what this does is it goes and puts the bent version of it goes and puts the bent version, right, of your file next to the original, because these bends, guys, are not parametric, right?
Hmm.
Full disclosure, these bends are step files because I'm not a Libre. I am sure, and I will be giving this code to a Libre, and I'm glad for them to have it. I'm dead sure they can make it as a feature. Dead sure. But you know, I'm just me. I'm just Costas, guys. Okay, so you get the bent part as a step file right next to it. But if you make any changes and you rebend it, the step file updates. So if that step file is used in a Boolean later on, that Boolean will update. I checked that. I've been using CAD since 1983, CAD-CAM MicroCAD. Okay, ideas. That was a nice one. NX, AutoCAD Inventor. Yeah. What else?
Oh, sorry. I think I
A
removed it
few, I
right when
can
you were reading
remember an
it.
Alibre. Alibre has the best user interface. Yeah, I will agree with that. Best user interface in the business. You know, when SolidWorks started, it was touted as the easy to learn CAD. Well, Alibre is like 95% as capable and 10% of the hardness and 10% steep learning curve. So definitely worth it. Okay, we're still running the bend engine. You can't do live broadcast if everything goes fully to plan. It's in the contract. I mean, that's how they get you. It's the fine print, isn't it? It's always the fine print in the contract.
See, the
And
sirens
Steve
and
just
police
goes up.
officer was a good touch there.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah. Now we got OmniCubed on with us. I love OmniCubed. I mean, there's been a few broadcasts where OmniCubed has come in with some like really esoteric knowledge that's been helpful, and I think
Oh yeah, for
OmniCubed is
sure.
at it again, answering that earlier question. If I can find that comment, we got LGR
Oh man.
FBS, our regular viewer. Welcome onto the stream. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Hello, all the way to Sweden. And LGR FBS just made this comment: God work. Sadly, he later corrected it to good work, which is I'll take it. I'll take it.
I didn't
Yeah.
see the second one. I only accept the first answer.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you log it in, that's it.
Yeah,
Right?
it's done. YOLO.
Yeah, but I mean,
You only
say
type
that-
once. Yoto.
You're saying that about Jeff Arnold's comment, of course, and yeah, using that many platforms, it's pretty godly. So there you go. Just tuning in. How about those Weldment Surfaces X nerves? You haven't missed anything. So we're going to be covering that after we cover these cool third-party add-ons, which of course is by this guy.
This is the third party. Yeah.
But in this order, you're the second party, right? You're between Steve and I.
Yeah, Costas is the meat in the sandwich.
Oh man. So you see, we messed up because the bend part is created. Yep, it didn't work. I made too many things in it. Oh shit.
I think we ought to just maybe suppress that extrude cut and try it again. I bet it's probably the cut not lining up or something.
Yep, that's it. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. As soon as it lets me, uh, as soon as it allows me to stop it, I will.
Amber alert or extreme flood warning or something.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. One sec, guys.
Heat wave.
Yep. Okay, so we're a bit stuck here. So the reason this didn't work, guys, was those cross cuts I made. Right? So let me shut this down, and I'll fire a Libre back up, and I'll show you what went wrong. But you know, this is
live, baby.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely live, guys.
I have some images for this, so I can show the finished images too if you want to move on to the dragon.
You can show the images. I think I can. I'm pretty sure I can fix it in like. I can fix it in a few seconds.
So the spelling of tire, we have an answer from Bill. That was just a nod to years of being a closet American F1 fan who did a tiny bit of work with the road race crowd. So F1 spells
there you go.
Not wet but not dry Michelin's tires. And I get it. Old habits die hard. I have been to the UK before, and sometimes I still spell things the UK way and have to backspace real quick.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to the pattern and make sure that the pattern is a bit. So let's go like 50 here. Okay, so guys, these add-ons are inspired by what Creo does, and it calls it spinal bend and toroidal bend. Okay, and I can definitely tell you that you get the exact same issues there, and they're kind of unavoidable because these. I mean, what we're doing here, right, is we're doing some really weird approximations. Shit. New keyboard. So we're doing some really weird approximations, right? And you know, things happen. So let's do it like this and then mirror this, and this should work a lot more reliably.
Yeah, well, this is pretty fun to see because you know when you watch people troubleshoot who have a lot of experience, you can get a lot of things out of it. So it's a lot of fun that way.
Let's try that again. Okay, so we want axis number 6. Let's bend it. Let's bend it like Beckham.
Love that exclamation point on the bend. That just gives the whole thing personality.
You know, these were vibe coded with Claude, right? So as I was testing, I told it, you know, make the button there and bend, and I used an exclamation point. It's AI, and it went and put the exclamation point there. So
it did what you asked it to.
It did. It monkey paws everything, doesn't it? Let's see. If this doesn't work again, guys, unfortunately, Joseph will have to show. Yeah, Bill Black spelling catalog. I always do that. So if this doesn't work, Joseph will have to show you the finished previous tire that I deleted, unfortunately. But actually, this was, yeah, This was pretty reliable. I'm pretty surprised it failed there.
Well, let's show the original that I have on file here.
It failed again. It failed again. What have I done? Have I made a hole in it somewhere? I've probably made a hole in. Yeah, that's the original, guys.
I like that tread pattern. Those little small sipes in there really make it pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually derived from an actual tread pattern from an old Bridgestone semi-slick. I put a lot of work in that one. This one, it was a bit quick, and it shows.
Yeah,
and if you can show the flat one as well, Joseph.
Yeah, I'll pull that one back up here.
So just while we're sorting that out, if anyone's in the UK watching on mobile, you're more than likely fighting right now with your handset because you're getting a UK-wide notification indicating there's a high risk of wildfires. So that's what the noise is coming from, like multiple handsets I've got around me. Yep. I'm literally trying to silence them all. So.
Well, good PSA. Don't start wildfires, guys.
Oh yeah, it's a big problem right now.
That's useful.
Well, should we jump into Weldment updates, or do you have some more, Kostas?
Nope. I don't have any more. I will be making a very, very detailed video on how the axle bend and the sketch bend work, and I will address this failure because I'm pretty sure when I did the extrudes, they were straight extrudes on a curved surface, and I think I punctured the surface somewhere, and the bend closes that hole, and that's where the face count changes and it doesn't match. So I'm pretty sure that's what I did, but I'll address that in the detailed video. Anyway.
That sounds good. And let me tell you, I spell catalog that way too, and sometimes I don't even realize that it's spelled wrong. So engineers may not be paid to spell.
Well, if you accidentally get the spelling right, I mean, I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, sometimes I spell something and then I type some random gibberish to make sure that it gets the underline because I can't believe I spelled it right. So, yeah. I have a whole.
By the way, can I just address something else?
Yeah.
These functions. Oh wait, we didn't show the dragon.
Oh yeah, you want to show
the dragon? Yeah, we need to show the dragon, right? Because we actually did it live and then we never showed it, so we need to show the dragon. Okay. So this is, it's going to load again.
So I want to know, anybody have any good engineering stories? Share them in the chat, and we can probably show them when we're going to be loading stuff.
And while the chat is sharing their engineering stories, this dragon that will just now pop up, that is a step import. So if you have a flat step, no feature tree, no nothing, it will still bend it, right? Just on a side note.
What will it do to the feature tree after it's bent?
So that's a very good question, Steve. The bent part is a step file. It does not have a feature tree, right? And it's not parametric. The only way to propagate changes is by rebending the part.
Is that because you have an original file which generates the geometry as part of the tree, and then the bend activity changes that into a step? So you would go back to your original file.
So basically what happens
changes there and then rebend.
That's basically it. But if you want to get technical, Alibre takes your design, makes a step file, and that step file is then turned into the volumetric point cloud. So when it brings it back in, it's a step file. Okay. So this is the flat version of a dragon that you just saw. and this is the bent one. And this is bent along an axis that is not parallel to the plate, that little dragon plate. So it does not create a cylinder, it creates a cone, right? So this is the plate. This is a flat plate. If you check this axis out, I need to show my axis. So it's bent along this axis, right? So because the axis is at an angle to the plate, the result becomes a cone, okay? And it just needs to update the face meshes and you'll be able to see it.
You know, in a case like this where you have an image like that, the common thing to do is to make like a height map out of it, project that height map onto a bent surface, and then try to use the height map to produce this. So this is a great alternative to trying to use specialized software with height maps.
Yep, for
Look
sure.
at that cone.
And this, I'll be honest. You know where I got the idea? You remember that live where I couldn't make it because I was under the weather a bit, and you showed Relief Maker with Max, right? There was a question, and he said, "Oh, can we create a relief on a cylinder?" And Max said, "Well, no, it's not working. It doesn't work like that." And I was like, "Yes, but you can do it on a flat plane, pick up the points, and then do a homogeneous transformation around an axe." And then I start vibe coding that, and this is what it got, right?
Yep.
So it even picked up the fact that the axis is, off angle a little bit, and it made a cone. So yeah, that's it from the third party. I'm so glad that you guys stick around and saw all of this. And now let's get.
Perfect.
Thanks for all the time, Joseph.
Thanks, Costas. Round of applause. Yeah, so guys, be sure to check out those memberships. I think it's going to go to someone who's really enthusiastic about helping the Libre community out and provides a lot of good material and tutorials and a lot of forum support. So be sure to check that out. Give them a round of applause in the chat. And I just have to. I saw a race car, so I have to show it. Work for a company that manufactures race cars and race car chassis. We have to have two frame chassis that we make completely modeled in SolidWorks Weldments. Well, let's make sure that we can get a good Weldment module for you.
Let's switch you away from the dark side.
Yeah. Yep. And hopefully this will be an easy one to show.
I'm so sorry. Can I just, because this needs answering, right?
Yep. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Costas. I think I stole that comment.
By Harold. Yeah, by Harold. So, Costas, when did you sleep? The answer is yes. Well, the answer is no. But thanks for the acknowledgement. The acknowledgement there, Harold.
Yeah, a lot of good comments talking about how impressive that is. So, yeah, maybe add a link to your memberships in the chat, Costas, so we could all see. And then,
yep, I will. You can just go straight to my channel, but I'll also give a link.
Absolutely. So here on my screen, I have some Weldment parts. Here's one frame that I've been working on. Now, we had a schema change since the last time I showed you a 3D frame. So the last frame will no longer open. That's okay. I was expecting that because that's how development goes. I remade this frame in Weldments. I don't think it's as good as the last one, guys. So if any of you saw the last one, let me know if this frame is totally terrible compared to the last one. But this is this is what I got right now. And of course, this all came from a single 3D sketch. But this time I made it in half, apart from this one thing that wasn't symmetrical, because now we have some new features where you don't have to 3D sketch the entire thing like we do last time. So that's one kind of exciting sample. This is another frame that was made for testing purposes on the development side. Again, lots of fun to be able to make these. And you'll see some interesting new features that we're going to get into how to make something like this, support gusset, and other things, because there are new features that we have not yet demoed. I'm going to pull up one other example file. This, of course, was one that I made using the new feature. I know Costas is really jealous to hear this. In fact, I think I have an even better one. So let's go into.
Every time, man, it gets me every time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
go on, go on.
I have a deck or a platform that has some patterned surfaces. And I think just like you, I don't want Microsoft to back that up. Just like you, Costas, I think I had an even cooler version with some like little legs and supports, but this one will do. So let's talk about how we can make interesting decks or surfaces like this. I'll open up a new sample weldment part and kind of outline the general process. So first, I can show my planes with Control-Shift-P, select a plane. Let's make a deck that has kind of an angle iron outline on it. And we'll make it a little bit small so that it's manageable here. I'm going to say 100. I'm working in inches, but of course this is friendly to any unit. So 100 by 50, how about? And then we'll constrain that horizontal. So when I want to add some angle iron, right, we create a weldment feature. And this works off of the toolbox. And so you can make a toolbox profile of whatever part that you want to have. And you can make a weldment profile out of that, which is fun to see the updates with. So I'm going to choose an L angle, and I just click on these sketch elements to fill them in with some angle iron. You'll notice now that we have these different points. And I think we've seen before, I can click on a point and the path that the weldment travels down, the sketch path that I made, when I click this point, the sketch path will be connected to that point now on that weldment. One interesting thing that we can do is if we go into the weldment part file, right, the file that drives this profile, I can add sketch nodes and they show up as these blue dots. So I can add my own custom locations that will be connected to our path to orient this weldment. Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. And
That's cool, actually.
yeah. Yeah, so you don't just
That is
have custom
cool.
profiles, but custom locations to attach those profiles to. Saw that comment, had to bring it up. Good job,
Thanks,
Costas.
guys.
And
Thank you so much, guys. It was so much work. Thank you so much.
yeah, looks like you're going to be getting some subscribers. Be sure to let us know in the chat where to subscribe to. Anyway, a little squirrel moment there. But so we have the ability to put this profile. I'm going to take the very top face of this flat part and put it right on my sketch plane intentionally, and I'll show you why. We have corner treatments, right? So we can cut the part so
Yep.
that it stops where it should in the way that we want. I'm going to go with these nice 45 treatments, and we'll apply that. Now, what does it look like if I want to use a different kind of weldment profile? I'll activate a sketch on this exact same plane. And let's say I make this somewhat large sketch line, and I'll make that 45 degrees. Yeah, you know what? I think that will do reasonably well. Okay. Well, I'll make a wood thing if this is going to be like a backyard deck. And I haven't actually designed backyard decks before, so if anyone has done that, let me know in the chat if I'm doing a good design or not. I'm totally open to correction here. I'm going to go with softwood lumber and specify that as my path figure. Clearly, this is not the orientation that I want, so I can change my profile 90 degrees there. Likewise, maybe one thing that I should point out, I don't think this was ever shown before, and this might be a brand new feature. I have the option to mirror my profile as well. So we don't just rotate, but we can mirror it so we have unlimited freedom as to our orientation and things like that when we create weldments. Jumping back into my
That
other
is
weldment
awesome.
here. Oh, isn't
Can I
that
just
fun?
say that? That
Yes.
is awesome.
It will save a lot of time
That's
and
so
effort.
awesome.
Our,
I can imagine.
our wood plank is intersecting our angle iron in a way that is totally not desirable. So once again, because I used a point to make that angle iron sit on that plane, I can make this wood also sit on the plane. So I don't have to make many sketch planes or anything like that, right? We have these options to orient things so that we're sitting right where we want to. And I'll say okay to that. Now there's a few ways that we can approach this. I think what I'll do is use a trim and trim this plank. I can say I want to trim this body along the plane of this face, right? And then it cuts it right down to size, right where I want it. I also, this is a brand new feature that's never been shown before, but now our trim feature can create gaps. So I can create a known gap between my place as well. I'm going to stick with a gap of 0. But what's kind of fun is here.
I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you know, please correct me. But SolidWorks Weldments does have trimming, but you cannot do a custom gap. You need to be making planes in those parts and then trim by planes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And even if SolidWorks has it, Weldments in SolidWorks is in professional, which costs like 18,000 euros over here for a perpetual license. So
this is a lot of fun.
That's 9 times more than a Libre.
You will notice I did not do my homework here, and I did not fully constrain my sketch. I'll change the dimensions just a little bit to create a certain condition here. So when I go to reproduce my wood plank, everything looks fine. Let's linear pattern this. This is also a feature that we have never shown before. This is another new feature in development, linear and circular patterns. So I'll take my plank and select this as a feature that I can pattern as a weldment, and I'll choose the direction of this edge down here. And I want my spacing to be 3.75, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's about an appropriate gap. So I can start patterning instances. And maybe let's try 15. So we'll try 15 of those.
Oh man, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah,
I'm about to be blown away, guys. If this is what I think, oh man, I know what this is. Oh man, Joseph, I want the Weldments.
So we can accept that, but I can also add in the trim into my pattern. And not quite what I was looking for, but let's keep that in mind that we can do the trim. There we go. So if I uncheck pattern geometry, then we are still trimming on those planes. Pretty cool stuff. Let me go in and edit my trim, and I can add in perhaps this plane.
Yeah.
And this plane.
Oh man.
Yep, there we go. So we've got something that looks pretty good. I have a few options. I can make my sketch a lot longer so that it will be contained within those trimming boundaries that I created. But I also want to show you another feature. So let's do it the hard way. I can.
You have extend. Oh man.
Yep, I can select some of my trim bodies here. And one of the fun and interesting. Oh, isn't it great?
This is awesome, man. I'm telling you.
You can hear this.
By the way, you've made a table that could sell for quite a few dollars. Right there, right?
Yeah, I certainly didn't go cheap when I decided to use my
components. No, you didn't. You did not.
But, I'm telling it, hey, let's trim these components on these planes. But there's a little Uno reverse card here. I can choose the extend box, and now we're extending to those planes. And so this really, I think, boils down to a multi-body modeling perspective. Now, a Libre hasn't had true multi-body modeling in the past, and we have it now with weldments. And so we can start thinking in terms of whole entire bodies and how they can interact and work together in places like this. Very, very awesome stuff.
I'd buy that table.
Thank you. I would take the money. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist yet.
There you go. There you go.
Let me check my notes and make sure that I didn't miss anything so far. One of the cool features is, now that we have a whole bunch of individual bodies, what if we're worried about one of them? So I can jump into my cut list, and we can see that we've generated a cut list for all of our unique parts. These highlighted parts all have unique dimensions and are their own. Here we have copies of the same part, and it automatically amalgamates the same part into one item in the cut list, so you don't have to worry about
That's
what's
so
unique and
cool.
what's the same. And then it generates
That's
a
so
cut
cool.
list with the quantities that capture those same parts together, saving you some time. So maybe I'm worried about this body. Well, I actually can check the weldment for any modeling issues and see. Thankfully, there's no
Oh,
failures.
you
That
can
would have
check
been
it
embarrassing in
separately.
real life. Yes, check all of
Awesome.
these bodies individually, which is
By the way,
pretty
that was
fun.
not possible in a Libre, right?
Uh,
It's currently not possible. You can have two different bodies in a part,
that's
lumps as
correct.
Libre calls them. But when you
Yep.
check it, you check all of them, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so I think we still have a check weldment up here. You can just select whatever body you want to and make sure that it is checked. This is a development version, so I'm not sure if this check weldment is at maturity or not. And we'll see what they come out with, but a lot of cool new stuff coming out for weldments. And I think there is a big push to get this released pretty soon. So stay tuned, because this will be on your desktop pretty soon. Now,
So cool,
there
man.
there's been this part is pretty cool. This is my favorite thing, if I say so myself. There's been a lot of questions about, well, I love that I can make weldments, but I do need to draw those individual bodies. And so we have the ability, this option right here, to promote. Likewise, if I select a part and go to weldments, there's this new promote to part option. And if I have to save it, so let's go ahead and save it in my delete folder. We'll just call that like a temporary part. So with this saved, I can promote this specific body into a part here. They'll say, okay. And when I go into there, now I have a I have a driven body, and it's, sorry, this isn't a folder with a bunch of other parts. Let me just filter it by time modified. Is it 11? Yeah, it's 11:23. All right. So I have this driven body where I can make drawings of it. Now you'll see that it's not showing up here. This is actually a development version bug that has already been fixed. So this is not going to show up for you. In fact, it doesn't show up if you get the latest development version, but right now I'll just hit regenerate all and it shows up no problem. So that is because it's not released. You're right. We're still crossing our T's and dotting our I's, but we have our individual weldment body. Now, something else that's kind of cool, I can activate a sketch. Let's say that I want to just extrude a hole. Well, now we can actually do extrude cuts. We have never seen this before in a Libre until this very moment. I can select a target body that I want to apply it to, so I can make this hole apply to multiple weldment
Oh
bodies
man, I love that.
or just a few. Yeah. And when I apply this, I can pattern that hole and so on. So when I go to promote things to bodies,
We'll have the
let's go ahead and promote that to a body here, because this is kind of an important point to make. We'll promote this. Oh, and I have to save everything, of course. The Libre is keeping me honest. So we'll take that body, we'll promote it, and then I have an individual part file with this hole. Something important to point out is this is a driven body. Again, let's try regenerating it. There we go. So I have my part with my hole. I can make a drawing of it. If I were to edit this and make another hole from the part, it doesn't show up in the weldment file. So it's a one direction link.
It's one
If
way.
we make
Okay.
edits to a part, we need to do it in the weldment file. Now, let's say that I want to make a drawing of this. Well, I certainly can do that. Let's go to send to, make a drawing of this design of my beautiful, beautiful platform or deck. That's probably really quite small. We're going to say, yeah, that's good. We'll just make an empty drawing. And we'll say okay to that. So I can, in Sheets and Views, select a view and make a cut list table from that view. And this is separate from a bill of materials, so you can have a cut list and a bill of materials all on the same drawing. And as you can tell, we have 9 of member number 4, 1 of everything else. So it keeps track of whatever quantities that we have and in need of here. So that in itself is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and save that in my folder. But we also may want to draw our individual components, right? I might want a drawing of every unique weldment that I have. So to do something like that, this has a bit of a Costas flavor to it, if I say so myself. We can go to Promote Part,
Okay.
but select 1 per category, and it makes a selection of every unique part without selecting duplicates. And then I
That's
can
so cool, man.
create drawing sheets, and it points automatically to the drawing that I just created. So we're going to say OK to that, and we'll see if this works. I've had an error when I've had some overwriting stuff before, but I think it looks like it's working. In fact, in my folder, you can see these files, individual part files, being promoted and written in real time. Which, fortunately for me, this is an Explorer window, so I can move it to the screen as it's going.
I just got this image of Anakin Skywalker starting at this pod racer for the first time. It's working!
Yeah, yeah, it is like that, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go. So once we're done there, let me pull up my part drawing. And I think it's having me do a projection here. So if you can tell, these kind of come up off screen, but we can go ahead and move our view. So now we have drawings of all of our individual parts, which is super cool, right? We can see all of our lumber drawing views, and we can start positioning and dimensioning them as we go. Way cool feature. Now, I'd also made a promise that not only can we create individual drawing views of all of our individual weldments and keep track of what's unique and what's not, huge time saver there, but we have a frame that had a gusset on it, which is pretty fun. So we are, so far, in every weldment demo that we've ever had, we've shown how to make weldments out of these profiles and things that are linked to the toolbox. So if you want to have custom profiles, you can use a toolbox part and then have your profiles work. But what if I want to make a simple gusset? I'll, in fact, check the thickness here. So the length of that line is 0.255. I'm so glad that's easy to remember as I'm live. I can create a sketch on this. And maybe I want to have a little sheet metal support gusset that's about 1/4 of an inch long. And I just want to model it right in. So we'll choose collinear, right? Make sure that this line is collinear there and there. I can give this an angle. Make sure my gusset is 45 degrees. We'll go parallel. Thank you for being so patient with me as I do this. And then I'll just give it a final dimension.
If they were patient with me.
All right, so there's my support gusset, and I'll extrude. So I'm actually creating a part from a sketch in the Weldments environment. We're going to say to a depth of 0.25 here, and we'll reverse direction. And what we'll find in the tree is that I actually have this extrusion that I can roll back and roll forward, just like in a regular part environment. And in our cut list, we have item number 24. And so this comes in as a weldment not generated from a Libre toolbox profile. And then I can even promote this to a part. I can check the weldment. And over here, I can add properties like material and names as a cut list item. Really cool that we can make gussets and other items through multiple ways, through a toolbox profile or through just simply sketching. That should give us a profoundly higher amount of design freedom.
But that's not just weldments anymore, man. That's I think it's a bit beyond. I mean, it's a bit beyond what I was introduced to as Weldments by SolidWorks, essentially. So that last example there was, yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome. One question there. So let's say that you take that and you put that into an assembly, right?
Yep.
Uh, and you start making drawings. Uh, is that treated as a single part, or can I then just bring that into a sheet and have it? Do I need to promote everything before I make the drawing? Is what I'm asking essentially.
Yeah, great question. So here is a part in an assembly, right? A weldment file in an assembly. So let's send it over to a drawing and see what it looks like. I'll save my assembly, and then we'll go to make a drawing. And I thought I saw another one about if we can edit things on the assembly level if they're weldment parts. So let's cover that as well.
Just a heads up, we are over the 1 hour 30 mark, so it's
Yep.
time when we could freeze. I'm hoping we don't, but if we do stick around, we will be back.
Yeah. In fact, let's do a giveaway this time. We haven't given away something Libre related. So if you stick around through the freeze, I've got a reward for you. And
Yeah.
Waved Out Video has been diligently trying to figure this out, and they haven't yet. And there's not much I can do besides that. So I give away prizes. That's what I can do, and we'll certainly do that today. So yes, when it comes to making something in a drawing from an assembly level, then we still have the ability to create a bill of material. We'll create a new bill of material here. And of course, this comes in as just a weldment part. And if we want to break down that weldment part, that's where we have our cut list. And so I can, I think you might have to make a cut list table and import it. I'm still working through some of these finer points, but they were sprayed out. So I think
Yeah.
if we'll make a
Cut
cut
list
list and back to that question about editing things in an assembly, right? So we can go to our features, activate a sketch. I think this is what Simon B was asking about. Yeah, we can make an extrude through our assembly. And again, this is a development version that I haven't personally pushed this far. I'm kind of just winging this live. So I think there's still some further development going on here, but I'd expect to be able to edit these things on a full release. It doesn't look like it wants me to select target instances yet. So stay tuned on that, because I think there's still some development work going on for assembly weldment editing here. Let me check some questions here. Is there a release date for weldments yet? Not a date set in stone. So it's going to be that same stereotypical answer, but it's going to be pretty quick. From what I see with people talking, this is really wanting to get out the door fast. So I'm in the next few weeks, probably even sooner. So can you bring in some? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish with that, and I have another comment I want to highlight after that.
Absolutely. So as far as Simon B's question goes, stay tuned on what I just did with assembly level features, but hopefully you've seen you can make holes through multiple components on the weldment level as well. Costas, go for it.
No, it just Spencer here just says Spencer Constance. Great name. It says it would be cool if the catalyst would automatically tell you cope angles, diameters for tubes, and that sort of stuff. Diameters for tubes, I think it's basically the name of the profile, so that it would tell you that. But cat angles, cope angles, that sort of stuff. If that was in the cut list, that'd be awesome. And I haven't seen this new feature yet, but if they've done all that work to weldments, I'm sure we'll get that in the cut list as well.
Absolutely. One thing that I can say for sure, there is going to be a lot of ears open on this release, and I think especially heavily we're going to be listening to what people think they want to see feature-wise for weldments moving forward, and I think that there's going to be some enthusiastic feature development. So if you have ideas like this, be sure to post something on the forum, let us know with the feature request, and make sure your voice is heard, because I think a lot of people are listening for really cool features like that. So yeah, don't ignore those cool comments and ideas. Let us know. Yep, I like that. What tube is intersecting diameter? This cope diameter. Yes. And another cool feature could be tell me if anything is intersecting in a multi-body environment, like a interference detection on the weldment level, right? Keep ideas like that coming. Well, the obligatory like and subscribe for Bill Black. Can't say no to that. We love any support we can get. So thank you to Bill Black. And then yes, simple to check. So Spencer, thank you again for these ideas. We love your ideas, and make sure get chatting about them, because we are listening for what priorities users can come back with of what's most important. What do you want to see added? What are we doing well? This is, I think, a particular release where there's a lot of ears on this. All right. Anything else I can show you guys? Any other questions? Did I answer that? Oh, someone asked how you would make that race car frame, or if we have a video about it. We don't have a video about making tubular frames, but I can show you. This is an example of a tubular frame, and I think I might be able to scare up one other example, and I accidentally opened another version of a Libre. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, just give me 1 sec here. Okay, so I have two examples here. I think this is a good part to have around because it shows different ways of making things. So I've got a rack and I've got a tubular frame. This rack was made very interestingly because if I show my sketches with Control-Shift-K, I'll hide my planes to clean up the environment a little bit. We have, two sketches, another 2D sketch. We have a 3D sketch. And then through this network of 2D and 3D sketches, we were able to create weldments throughout the history. So you can make a bunch of individual standalone sketches and have them come together to make something meaningful like this. Likewise,
that's awesome.
if I roll this back, this is one single 3D sketch to make this frame. So pick your poison. You can make it however you wish, and then generate individual weldments off of that. So the idea behind making weldments in a frame like this, or through individual sketches, is once you have this, when you make a weldment feature for a frame like this, if I go to select something like this and we say, I want this to be say 1.5 inches, schedule 40, so we'll go with a pipe. And schedule 40, 1.5 inches, let's say that's the frame that I want. If I go to select this, it doesn't select, right? So the idea is when we select these weldments, they either need to be parallel with each other, and I can choose anything that's parallel, or I can clear my selection. I can choose anything on a contiguous path. Those are the two options for selecting weldments. I was asked about a video about making these tubes. We don't have one, so I'm kind of doing one live. We can also look at, I guess, previous live streams. So maybe I'm going to be busy going through this, but if someone can link a previous live stream in the chat, that's great, or I can do it later. When we see these pipes here, we can tell that they're overlapping, but we can change the way that they connect, of course, with corner treatments. I love this. This is almost always watertight. Sometimes physics doesn't allow a completely watertight fitting, but so long as it does, they're watertight here, or we can do these kinds of corner treatments. And so then the question becomes, okay, but when I generate a subsequent weldment, there's no actual corner treatment here that changes this, because this is a weldment that's already been generated, and these corner treatments only affect the weldment that I'm currently making. And that's where our trim tool comes in. So we can do an extend and trim, and we can say, I want to trim this body across these bodies. And then, I can even create a little gap if I want to, if that's important. So we have all the options to be able to have that corner treatment. It just comes after the fact with a trimming body, and I think that's pretty typical. So that is how we would start generating these kinds of tubes and trimming things to the right size. And then, of course, if we need to, we can promote this to a part and make some drawing detail about what this fish mouth or corner treatment might look like on our frame member. So let me know if that answers your question, or if you have additional questions about how to work with weldments to make something meaningful. Am I still on?
Yep, I think we're still
Yeah.
on. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
we're
some
not
reason,
frozen. We're still good.
I could not see myself. I think I pulled up the wrong browser, but it was still on our streaming platform, so I didn't see myself, and I thought that I was just talking to air for a second.
No, well, we would have noticed that, but Wave Studio still, Wave Video still holding on. Let's see.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is the chassis we designed in SolidWorks. I haven't done much in weldments recently, but could get my engineer to make a list of pain points of features SolidWorks weldments is missing. We'd love that. Yeah, Joseph at Alibre.com. You can send that directly to me. I'd love to see it and forward it on, because I think weldments are still slated to have some improvements.
That's golden feedback right there, man.
It
golden
is.
feedback.
Let's do a quick mirror, right? Just because I haven't shown that, so I can choose different weldment bodies to mirror. And sure takes the work out of trying to 3D sketch that like I did the first time through. So very, very welcome adjustment there.
That's pretty cool.
Now, did I miss any comments? Let me know. Oh, here we go. Difference and similarities between using feature patterns and topology patterns. Really, really like that. Oh, and thank you guys for the reminder. There's a little bit of a delay there. I'm sure you sent that right away. So we kind of covered that in the previous. If you don't mind, I can go ahead and take that. So when I make a new part here in Alibre, create a sketch, and I'm going to break some rules here and not fully constrain, just to get us to the point a little bit faster, so you don't watch me making meaningless things all day. When I create a hole, and then let's cut through that. So there are really three kinds of patterns that we can make. And the first one is a sketch pattern, right? I can take this pattern and I can take this sketch and choose a direction and up the number of instances. So when we make sketch patterns like this, the recommendation is this is your last line of defense. Sometimes the only thing you can do to get a thing to work is a sketch pattern, and that's why we have it. But if you can avoid doing a sketch pattern, avoid that, because sketch patterns are saying, hey, we're going to have to solve this sketch and then solve all the individual sketch elements and topologies and constraints and everything of every individual pattern, and then generate a feature off of that and resolve the feature. And so things get heavy quick. It's like a exponential multiplier of solving. So if you can avoid doing a sketch pattern, a feature pattern is preferable. But even more preferable, see in this option, we can come down to linear topology pattern. This is available in expert. It might be available in professional. I don't recall as I say that, but with topology patterns, we choose a seed face and a direction, and then I can choose an offset. The problem with topology patterns is they are temperamental. And so we can generate a topology pattern here. And the advantage is this takes what we've already made and with minimal computational effort replicate it. But it's tied to very specific kinds of geometry, so it doesn't always work. But if you can do a topology pattern, you'll thank yourself later. They're simple, they're fast, they don't tie up your performance, and so on. But when you have something that's more demanding, that's where our typical feature patterns come in. And a feature pattern takes the individual feature and copies it. So you don't have the computational heaviness of resolving individual sketches every time for every feature. And it does work a little bit faster, but heavy feature patterns can still slow you down in ways that topology patterns will not. So, Bill, I think you asked that question. Let me know if that answers what you were asking. So that's the hierarchy, topology, feature, sketch in that order.
And
Um,
there's another little difference that I wanted to point out,
yep,
um, which is a very, it's a very edge case, but topology patterns cannot be then repatterned,
that's correct. I'm so glad you said
right?
that. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Whereas a linear or circular pattern can then be repatterned. So that's another difference there. But topology patterns, when you have, like thousands or tens of thousands of faces, topology patterns are they're amazingly quick. There is a very, very noticeable difference.
there is. So if you saw, I just patterned that topology pattern, and thanks for that insight, Costas.
Yep.
We certainly can.
And also another thing that we did mention in I don't remember which live it was, we mentioned this again, but when you bring in a step file, right, the entire step file is a single feature, so you cannot do a linear pattern on it. But if it has a hole, you can do a topology pattern, or a pocket, or a distinct feature on it. You can do a topology pattern on that, even if it is still a step file, right? Or an
Right.
imported file, which is also a great win for topology patterns.
Absolutely. So as you can tell, right, my OK button's grayed out. I can't pattern off of any of these seed faces, like you said, Costas. So once you make a topology pattern, it's done, and that's another
It
advantage
is what
of
it is. Yeah.
your patterns. Yeah. I saw another question from Bill Black here. Um, does a weldment then include constraints that anchor the parts together? Love that question. So these weldments don't have constraints in the assembly sense. So there's not going to be like a coincident or a coaxial or something like that. These are anchored by the sketch. So if I were to edit the sketch here, and I think I probably ought to get rid of some of this stuff that I added in. Okay, so I can go and edit my sketch once I'm done recomputing my frame here. And then once I make this something different, maybe 16, then all of the relationships between the parts and the trims and everything just update to that new geometry. So you can tell I've still trimmed this pipe to the size and way that I want to, compared to everything else. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if I did, Bill, and thank you so much for the question there. Do the cross-member bodies that are mirrored become a single body? That is an excellent
That,
question. As
that's a
of
good
right
question.
now, I'm seeing. It looks like, yeah, no, those are two separate bodies right there. So I think that there's still some updating conversations on how are we going to unite bodies if we wish. If you have specific needs to, oh, this is Simon Baxter. Okay, if you have specific needs, please make your voice known. In the forum, I really like that you do that, Simon. So we probably won't have a problem there. Let us know what you need with that feature. Give us a complete and specific spec as you can, and I'd love to send that on to so that we know exactly what you need. Multi-body is only supported in Weldment. That is true, Cow Tools. Thank you for bringing that up. As of right now, multi-body modeling is only in Weldments, but I think that there are some hints or indicators that this could leak into regular parts because the work is already largely done. So stay tuned and let us know if that multi-body modeling support is handy for your regular part modeling workflow. I know I use surfaces a lot to represent multi-bodies, and it would be handy for some of the things that I do. So Cow Tools, if you'd like to see multi-body, let us know. I'd love to see that. How much of Weldments is influenced by Frame Builder by innate liquid gravity? I love that Frame Builder add-in that he created.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, not much, but I think there was a lot of just general benchmarks as to what would be expected for a good Weldment platform and working from there. But Nate sure does have a really good contribution to a Libre, and that's a really cool thing that he made. Ah, awesome, Bill. Thanks for letting us know. So you use sketch patterns for a very long time. Feature patterns are now the favorite, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll find a soft spot for topology as well. You
Yeah.
bet. Sketch pattern constraint would be nice, even though it's heavy for Libre to calculate for most simple designs. I doubt performance is a concern. I agree. If we can get something that has some automatic constraints when you pattern it, I'd love to see that enhancement too. So I'm grateful you brought that up. And I think, Spencer, that's consecutive good ideas that you've brought to us in this stream alone. So we love hearing from you, and thanks
Yep.
for letting us know. Weldments in a CNC laser tube cutter would be great. Thanks again. Not trying to be
Oh, yep.
demanding, but 2 weeks to make notes. Yes. Absolutely. Well, I think there's a lot of ears on this, and it'll be interesting to see what people think is important and what we ought to be adding on top of this. So, hey, Stu 3D, thanks a lot. We're happy to help. What do you think? Does the frame look better with that narrower front end that I changed? Let us know in the chat. Any other questions that I can get to while we have this new module up? Let us know. All right. Well, maybe I did promise a giveaway. Maybe it is that time. What do you guys think?
Yep. Oh,
I
yeah.
I,
Let's do giveaway.
I love that idea for early access. So I'll have to run an early access giveaway by and see if that's something that we can do without getting in trouble. So right now we'll do a free upgrade for somebody, and if they're on expert, we'll do a year of maintenance. Got a new comment here. Some software like Bentech can do this for you. It's not 100% necessary, but might be nice for drawings. Good to know. Can you straighten? Oh, and this is it. Can you straighten a tube like you would a flat pattern
Yeah.
of sheet metal? It would be useful. If that, I know it's been discussed, and what that might look like, at least immediately, is the cut list would tell you what the straight tube would be like. I know there's a lot of math behind it. It's material dependent, it's geometry dependent, so it might be a lot more complicated than it looks. But that could be a really useful add-on. How do you make a profile?
Can I just
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Gosses.
sorry? Can I just comment on that? You're very correct that it is material dependent, and there are a bit of math behind it, but it is much like the sheet metal environment, right? Where we set a K factor. If you want your parts and your flat patterns to be like dead on, like a tenth of a millimeter or 5/500ths of a millimeter precision, right? You need to run tests, and you need to experimentally verify your K factor, or else you're just approximating. But when we design sheet metal, we take that into account, and we make sure that the tolerances work. It'll be the same. It'll be the same here. When you get the straight length, it is material dependent. There are a lot of math behind it, but you could get an equivalent bend factor, which you either input or you experimentally verify. It's basically that.
Yeah, and it's so process dependent too. On top of that, sheet metal is
Exactly.
pretty straightforward because you know your material, you know your K factor, bend allowances. But when you have a tube, it's like, are you going to mandrel bend it? Are you going to fill it with sand and bend it? Are you going to bend it without anything inside and create a little dimple? So it's something that's going to get really complicated really fast, and there's going to be a lot of investigation for an approach like that. But it's absolutely useful at the same time. So. Is there a way to auto-dimension geometry in sketch mode, such as a hole? Great question. So far, no, unfortunately. But maybe somebody's going to create an interesting add-on and add it to their memberships. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad idea, actually. But can I just say, I already have a video on that is called design intent and what beginners get wrong when designing and so on and so forth. So uh, dimensions hold a lot of design intent, right? Because you can get the exact same sketch, every sketch element in the exact same position and all of that with a lot of different dimension and constraint sets, and each set carries a different design intent, and it will behave differently when you change a parameter. So auto dimensioning, even the software that have it, I really hate it, because okay, you did it automatically, but what did you do? What's the design intent, right? uh, what does D2 control? What does D3 control? So yeah, there is a lot to discuss there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a great thing to be talking about, because I'd love to see what users want for all that. Yes,
Yep.
and maybe Claude will make one for me. So
Yep.
great question here. I see two questions that are pretty related. How do you make a profile? Because it's going to ship with some standard profiles, but how do you know if it's the profile you want and whatnot? And then just to verify, first create a sketch and then add a weldment. You can't just go direct to weldment, right? So I think when he says go direct to weldment, it means edit the weldment profile or whatnot. So weldments work off of toolbox parts, and let's see if I can pull up some profiles and get there. In fact, I'll go to my weldment structure. So right now, the weldment structure points to toolbox profiles. And when I open that up in Explorer, this is what it looks like. So we have this assembly toolbox where you can add a part and configure it in real time in the assembly. I think that was introduced in V27, maybe V28. And these are spreadsheet driven parts. So if you're going to make a weldment from scratch, you'll make something that looks like this, where
Yep.
you have a label and then all the different dimensions that are concerned with making that part. And once you have your spreadsheet going, you can then go to the Libre home screen, and I have to be very careful while doing this here. We'll go to
Yes.
the Utilities tab on the Libre home screen down here. I don't know if I can do this.
Okay, that's a good way to do it, actually. That's a
But let
good
me,
hack there. I love that.
yeah, it's okay. So
Yeah.
on the Utilities screen, there's something that says Toolbox and Add Part from Spreadsheet. So we'll click on that, and it asks for your Excel file. And once you select an Excel file, there, that probably works. And then you can it imports the columns from your Excel file.
Yep. Exactly.
And I think I'm just going to make a weldment washer here. So then you can choose what you want it as your input. I think my dark mode might be throwing this off here. Let me change this to inches. Yeah, and we can call that text or part name, distance. What are we doing here? So there we go. So then we can establish filter orders. This is more for assemblies, but it's saying in an assembly, if I want to make this part, then I can say I want the user to have this option first, and then this option second, and then this option
Yep.
third. And what we're saying is the user chooses the outside diameter first, then the inside diameter of the washer second, and then the thickness of the washer third, and so on. This looks like a lock washer that I pulled up. And this is filter order. So we're saying, hey, we're choosing from the spreadsheet dimensions. I also can take this back down to 0, and I can say, oh, the user input, the user can just type their own value here if there's a 1 in this column. And then we populate equations, and we actually model the part. And so what we do, and again, I have a video of how to do all this. And there's going to be some more video support when we release so that people know what they're doing. But just as a preview, we have all of the spreadsheet equations as variables here, and then we can just start modeling off of those variables. And the idea is when I add in a variable and the user selects, say, gap width from their spreadsheet, then that's going to update to the correct value based on what they're choosing. So once we have that file created, right, then we save it, and then when we go to pull it into Weldments, boom, that's a Weldment profile. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the chat if it does. Kind of a long answer.
Can I just highlight a comment which is exactly on the thing you were just saying?
Yep.
Imagine I want to make an aluminum extrusion of some kind, right? So if you want to use it in Weldments, you need to make it into a toolbox part. I have actually 2 videos, one on toolbox, which I go into a lot of detail on what Joseph just said there, which was basically everything. It's just that, I make a couple of examples out of everything. And then I have another one on catalog features. Basically, if you want to do an aluminum extrusion, you can download one off the internet, get the sketch of it, right? Dimension it, and in the Excel file, when you're setting up your toolbox, each column is going to be the different parameters that will be changing. So if you download a 40 by 40 extrusion, the section does not change at all. So your only column would be length, and that would be a user input. So you do that, now you have that extrusion as a toolbox part, and you can use it straight in Weldments. And in the very first presentation that we did of Weldments, Adam was here, and he was like, "Oh man, you can make a 3D printer out of aluminum extrusions," which is exactly right. That's a very valid use of Weldments. And with all these new features and additions, you can do a very large part of that 3D printer in Weldments. Yep.
Yeah. I absolutely. So let me know if that answers how you make a profile. Again, that's kind of a long-winded explanation, but I'm sure I can find some of our YouTube videos on how to make toolbox parts. And once you have a toolbox part, you can add little sketch points if you want the path to snap onto different points. And it should be pretty easy. So let me know if that answers your question for both Elias and Cow Tools. Wait for Costas to use Claude to make us an extension for us. So you have your work cut out for you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Keep giving me ideas. Keep giving me ideas, guys. And who knows?
Yeah. So for aluminum extrusions, I guess in short, make a spreadsheet of all the different sizes and dimensions that need to be updating. Make that with the spreadsheet that I just showed, and then you should have a Weldment extrusion. That'd be a cool thing to ship with too, so maybe we should look into that. And thank you, Elias. We really appreciate it. There's a bit of a delay, of course, in communication, but that came right up for me. Awesome. Any other Weldment questions, or is it time to do some other exciting stuff? I think a raffle might be in order here. Okay, Steve, what hashtag should we do this time?
How about hashtag plugins?
Hashtag, sorry, I missed that.
Plugins.
Plugins. Oh, I like that.
Plugins.
That's on theme.
And I have to ask, so Costas, have you managed to use your bend plugin to make a sheet metal taco yet?
Yeah, actually, you can do that. You can definitely do that. It's the axial bend one, and you would ask it to bend only 180 degrees, and it would get the closest point to your axis, bend it 180 degrees, and then keep the other two legs, as it calls it in the code, keep it straight, So you start with a circular disc. You position your axis accordingly. You bend for 180 degrees, and you end up with a taco. That's it. And just on the tire part that failed earlier, I actually did some troubleshooting and I found the error. I'd used a thin extrude, and the edges were arced. So what happened there? It had an inner and an outer edge that were very close. So I just sized my axis out of the inner edge, and it created parallel faces that were closer together than the tolerance, and it failed. So it was just me, uh, my bad aim with the mouse that killed it. But still,
Yeah, you were doing it on the fly and under the hammer, under the spotlight, in front of
yeah,
everybody.
I was doing it on the fly, but it didn't fly.
Ah,
Anyway, yeah. Okay, you know what, guys? Joseph, is it okay if you run the raffle twice and the second winner gets a set of my add-ons?
Oh, I'm liking that, Costas.
Let's do
oh,
it.
now there's a thing.
I mean, you guys insist on making me hungry with these delicious breakfast pastries.
Well, I mean, we hadn't mentioned tacos, and I had to find some way of threading it in. So,
There you go.
Tacos and
Yep, yep, yep.
Cinnabons. That actually sounds good together for some reason, but all right. So
So a cinnamon bun. Isn't a cinnamon bun the perfect Aristotelian spiral? I think it is, isn't it?
I think
Yeah, that's
so.
pretty close. Yeah,
You know,
there you go.
I think to make the rounded top should be a secondary operation, but I think I would probably do a revolve cut and kind of get an
Yeah.
angle there so it has the higher center, and then add the rounded top. But I think that's probably a reasonable concept, is to base it off a spiral.
Yep, 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 yep. It's based off an Archimedean spiral. I'm very sorry, Archimedean spiral.
All right, LGR FBS, let us know if that satisfies your design need.
How
That
would
would,
skin that tube? Cow tools. Do you mean actually create a body for it? That's a good question, actually.
yeah, I'm not sure I'm following that question. Let me know what you're saying, Costas.
Maybe he means use the frame to create body panels for it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is an interesting question.
Yeah, well, what I would do is I'd loft it because body panels, right? They're
Yeah.
curvy, weird, and I would just project the tubes in and use tangent lines, right, or tangent arcs, and create multiple lofts to go around the chassis. Look, guys, designing a car body is never quick and easy, right? Never. It's one of the weirdest things you can design ever.
Yeah.
But
it's an
that's how I
art
would do
form of
it.
all of itself, right? Which is why a
It
lot of
is. It
manufacturers,
is.
when
It
they're
is. There are no
prototyping, use
math.
clay.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
All I'm going to say is this, and I think this is probably all I can say. But a
Oh
Libre,
man. Oh, come on.
yeah, a Libre V30, you're probably going to have a lot easier of a time doing something like a car body.
It's going to have G2 continuity, G3 continuity, isn't it? It is, isn't it?
I
Oh
don't know.
man, come
I have no
on,
idea.
come on, man. Oh, that's Joseph. Why are you doing this to me?
Because I love tormenting
Like,
you live. I mean,
you do kind of, you do a little bit, don't you?
let us know in the chat. Do you
Okay.
like seeing
Can,
Costas
can we
get
get
tormented?
can we get V13 like about a month? That's reasonable, isn't it?
We'll see what we can do for you. I'll tell him to hurry it
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah. Okay, I bet you
Got
will.
one.
That's so awesome, man. That is so awesome.
All right.
Like golden ratio pastries. Yep. Do I remember that correctly? Is it one plus square root of 5 over 2? Is it? Let me see. Or is it the sign of that? Golden ratio. Let me check. Because I was working with a golden ratio recently. It's something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway, yeah.
So I'm not seeing any more hashtags coming in.
Oh, this is a good point. It needs to be baked for height. So true, very true. Are we making the pre-baked or post-baked? It's like sheet metal. We have the unbent and the bent. So we need to have
There you go.
the module for the pre-baked.
You need a little
key
oven.
factor. Key factor.
You need a
for
little
the cinnamon
oven
bun.
icon in the toolbar,
Yeah.
right, to bake it.
Yes, that's a good question, Bill. I'm going to tell you, I'm really excited. And yeah, we'll see if we can figure out more ways to torment Costas and still have him come on the stream with us.
I'll come on the stream, guys. I wouldn't miss a stream. You know that. By the way, the formula I gave you is a very, very close approximation to the golden ratio. 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. There you go, guys.
All right. I'm thinking that we're going to be ready for the raffle. So add your last hashtags in now. I'm going to jump back in. Ooh, we haven't done music in a while. Maybe a little chill number. By hashtag.
We could use a chill piece of music, like, I don't know, Whitesnake, Iron Maiden, something.
Okay, let's start the first raffle. I guess we're going to say this is going to be an upgrade or a year of maintenance if you have expert. Let's get a drum roll. Here we go. Wow. Congratulations.
There you go.
Busy WCNC.
There you go. Busy WCNC. There you go.
I am going to be abusing my text block here, but let's see if I can get this edited here. So send me an email. This platform makes it really hard to edit text blocks, but I've been complaining about the platform all stream. I need to stop.
They didn't drop us this time, right? So that's good.
Yep. No. I really, they're going to drop us just because I'm being whiny all the time. But okay, they're at the bottom there. In fact, I'll.
There you go. There you go.
There at the bottom there. Email me, and we'll get you a.
That was such a hack. I love that. That was the best thing all stream. I'm sorry.
Here, Costas, you can do it too.
Yeah, there, guys. There, it's Joseph.
Yep, and that's the one and only Costas. So
I pinged that into chat. Is that correct?
Oh, let's see.
What is it? I don't see it in the chat.
The private chat?
No, into the chat of the stream on the Libre channel.
It didn't come in.
Oh, it's probably on the delay.
Maybe. I just put my email in the private chat. So if we do a next raffle for a set of my add-ons, all 3, that's the email that the winner should contact. But yeah.
All right, let's do that raffle, huh? Should I put that in the chat, Costas? The public chat?
Yep.
All right.
That's the work email. Anyway, so it's definitely public as it can be.
So I'll put that on there. To claim your add-ons, here is chat.
There you go.
And then I saw another question. We'll cover that too. So, Raffle, another hashtag plugins, huh? Let's start it. All right, who's going to get Costas's add-ons?
Come on, guys.
Oh, John Reamer.
John Reamer, let's go.
Congrats.
Let's go, man.
Congratulations to this guy.
Come on, man. That's amazing.
Take my text block out.
Congratulations, John. Send me an email, and I'll send you. By the way, they come with installation files and instructions. So you read the instructions, you launch the installer, and it does the work for you. And I'm always open after you start using them to bug fixes and ideas. And I'd love some feedback. So excellent. John Reamer, send me an email.
So appropriate to do all this with a Cinnabon CAD backdrop here.
Of course. It is, isn't it? Look, what you should have done, Joseph, you should have used your split face trick, right? And then painted the other surface brown because, it's the cinnamon.
I love it. I think I can. I think I might be able to do that.
Oh man, we're so we're so off track.
I'm just gonna next time. I'm gonna either bring taco flavored popcorn to this because it's you and you Joseph and Costas are kind of like giving each other squirrel moments, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Every time we do, you can take a bite.
Yep.
Oh, this has been one fun stream, guys.
Yeah, that was a good one, guys. Thanks for sticking around for all of it. It was a blast,
drops.
guys, to show you my work, and no drops. And it was a blast to show you my work. John, send me that email, and have fun, guys. Have fun.
Awesome.
Thank
you, guys. And let me get this music turned off. I worked so hard on that outro video. I guess I better, make you all watch that. So thank you all so much. We can't wait to see you again. Let us know what you think of the Weldments. Let us know what future requests you have. And we'll see you all in the next one.
See you around, guys. Cheers. Send an email to Alibre telling them to launch V30 next month. Bye.
You bet. Bye.